All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are breaking down exactly how to find and access court records in California. So, whether you're just doing a bit of research or you need a really specific document, stick around. We're going to walk through this whole thing step by step.
Yeah, this is a super common problem, right? You need to find a court record, but you have no idea where to even begin looking. The whole system can feel like a giant maze. But don't worry, we're going to give you the map to get right where you need to go. Okay, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Records are kept by the county. California does not have some big central database for every case. It just doesn't exist. Your search is pretty much always going to start and end with the specific county where the case was filed. This is the golden rule.
So, let's talk about finding the right courthouse. Before you can even think about searching, you've got to know which one of California's 58 counties you need to be looking in. Not sure? A good rule of thumb is to think about where the incident happened, or maybe where the people involved live. That's usually your best bet.
You know, California has a Supreme Court and courts of appeal, but honestly, the vast majority of cases, we're talking everything from traffic tickets and divorces to criminal trials, they're all handled at the trial court level. And these are called the Supreme Courts. And guess what? There is one for every single county. So you find the right county, you've almost definitely found the right court. Okay, so you figured out the county. Now what? Well, you basically have two main ways to search. You can do it online, remotely from your computer, or you can actually go visit the courthouse in person. And each way has its own pros and cons.
So, this really lays out the big trade off you're going to face. Is it convenience or is it completeness? Look, online access is fantastic. It's there for you 24/7. You can get the basics like who's involved in the case, key court dates, that kind of thing. But if you want to do a deep dive, if you want to actually read the documents and get official copies, you're almost always going to have to make a trip down to the clerk's office. And this is a really crucial point, especially when it comes to privacy. For more sensitive cases, think family law or criminal stuff, the courts deliberately limit what you can see online. You might get a basic case summary, but you are not going to be able to read all the nitty-gritty details from your couch. Let's take a look at a real-world example. Los Angeles County. They have a really solid online system. You can hop on their portal, search by case number or by name, and get a ton of info for a lot of civil cases right from your computer. It's a perfect example of a court that's really leaned into remote access. Now, let's contrast that with San Francisco, which does things a bit differently. Sure, some of their civil records are online, but they have a very specific policy that criminal records are not available online, period. For those, you have to physically go to the courthouse or send a request by mail. This just goes to show how much things can change from one county to the next. Okay, so you've done the hard part. You've located the case file. So the next logical step for a lot of people is getting a physical copy of a document. Let's walk through exactly how you do that. First things first, you need to figure out if you need just a regular old copy or if you need a certified copy. A certified copy is the real deal. It has an official stamp that gives it legal weight. And believe me, agencies like the DMV, the passport office, or your bank, they will almost always demand this official certified version. For a standard non-certified copy, you're usually looking at about 50 cents a page. It's pretty straightforward, and it's great if you just need it for your own personal records. But for that official certified copy, the cost jumps way up. Instead of paying per page, you're paying a flat fee for the whole document, and it's typically around $40. That's for the official seal and the verification. So the big takeaway here is to always confirm which type of copy you need before you pay. So how do you actually get these copies? Most courts give you three main options. Going in person is usually the fastest. You can also mail in a request form, just don't forget the payment. And more, some of the bigger counties will let you order and pay for copies right on their website. The best advice? Always check the court's website first to see what your options are. Yeah, those fees can really add up, right? Especially if you're filing court documents yourself. But what happens if you genuinely can't afford them? Well, there's a process for that. It's called a fee waiver. It's basically a formal request you make to the court. And if a judge approves it, a lot of those court costs, we're talking filing fees, copy fees, they get waived for you. They're gone. So the big question is, how do you qualify? Well, there are three main ways. One, if you're on public benefits. Two, if your income is below a certain level. Or three, if you can just show the court that paying the fees would make it impossible to afford your basic needs. And here's the pro tip, You only have to meet one of these. Not all three, just one.
Now, applying for a fee waiver means sharing some pretty personal financial details. And I know that can feel a little intimidating, but it is so important to know that this information is kept completely confidential by law. Only the court staff sees it, not the other person in your case, and definitely not the public. And finally, it's just as important to understand what you can't see. The idea of open justice is great, but it does have its limits, and that's mainly to protect the privacy of vulnerable people.
There are a few major types of records that are just not public. Pretty much anything involving minors, like juvenile cases or adoptions, is strictly confidential. As we just talked about, your personal financial info on a fee waiver form is also protected. And finally, sometimes a judge can issue a special order to seal a record, which just removes it from public view completely. So, there you have it. That's the map. You know that your journey starts at the county level. You get the difference between searching online and going in person. And you know how to get copies and even how to handle the fees. The public record is such a powerful tool. The only question left is, what are you going to go discover?